He's Kurt Warner, and he joins us on loan from the NFL Network. Most touchdowns you threw, not in an NFL game, I think that was, 5? What about the Arena League? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but that's definitely the only place that I would have ever thrown 7 in a game, that's for sure.
Okay, you threw 5, 4 different times in your NFL career.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, do you know those games?
I know a couple of them. I know I did it twice in the playoffs against Minnesota and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the other two.
San Francisco and at Chicago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. One with Arizona, one with the Rams. I remember.
Athletes talk about being in the zone. Is that being in the zone for a quarterback? I mean, that you have 5 touchdown passes, or can you be in the zone in a different way as a quarterback?
Yeah, it's not so much about what the stats are, but one of those games, that second to last game I played against Green Bay, where I think I ended the game with less incompletions than I had. I had more touchdown passes than I had incompletions in that game. And it was just one of those games where you saw everything. The holes seemed huge. The ball was just going exactly where you wanted it to go. And that's really what the zone is. It's about slowing the game down where everything just seems so much easier than on a normal basis.
What was different about Manning in the second half as opposed to the first half?
Man, I don't know. He just, it was one of those things that, when I watched it, what I love so much is that he does a great job of manipulating the game and making sure that he puts guys in great positions to succeed. And that, to me, is what I saw in that second half, was that he used Wes Welker over the middle in those short passes. He attacked outside with those big receivers. He played to the strengths of his playmakers. And, I don't know if there's anybody that does that better at being able to call plays and adjust plays to make sure he's getting his guys in the best situations to win. And I think when you do that and he's on throwing the football like he was, those are the results. 5 touchdown passes in one half. I mean, it's pretty incredible.
But you said you like when a team blitzes you because that gives you an advantage. Explain that to the audience.
Well, it's one of those things that if you have guys that can make plays after the catch, if teams are going to blitz you, that means there's just less guys on the back end to tackle them. And I think we saw that on Demaryius Thomas's last touchdown catch. Peyton read the blitz. All he did was, make a 1-yard throw out to the edge to Demaryius Thomas, and there was only a couple guys left, a couple good blocks by Wes Welker and a couple of the guys, and I mean, it's an easy 75-yard touchdown, and that's what I love, because as a quarterback, all it comes down to is, okay, I got to see the 2 guys that are blitzing, and I got to find a way to attack that spot in the defense, that soft spot in the defense, and then it all comes down to, can my guy make the other guys miss? And so it's really an easy game from that standpoint, that I don't have to throw the ball 40 yards down the field. I got to throw it 4 yards, and then my guy gets to do the rest.
When you look at the style of offense you guys ran with the Rams, were you ahead of the curve here with what we're seeing now with college football, with like the Oregon Ducks, with the speed, the hurry-up offense that, Mike Martz was one of those mad scientists who created something that everybody is sort of, there's a hybrid of this now?
I think a little bit. I think we were ahead of the curve. A, we had, great talent. But B, we had a lot of different kinds of guys, and we did a great job of utilizing those guys. I mean, we had Isaac and Torrey on the outside. We had Ricky Prohl, who was that shifty guy that could use the middle of the field. We had Oz Hakeem, who had, just a great hips. We could get him short routes, and he could make guys miss. And then, of course, we had 2-8 in the backfield. That was a mismatch for everybody. And so I think we did a tremendous job of really utilizing all the different ways our guys could play the game. And I think that's what you've started to see recently. You see the shorter passes, the quick screens, the way to attack teams short, where the running game kind of gets taken out of it a little bit. And then, you complement that with those big receivers that we see, the Calvin Johnsons and Larry Fitzgeralds, Demaryius Thomases, and then you attack down the field. And, you couple all that with rule changes, which makes it a little bit easier to attack the middle of the field and all of those different things that, I think we were on the beginning of the curve, but I think some of the changes have really allowed this to become, just a passing league where it just benefits the receivers and the quarterbacks so much more.
NFL Network's Kurt Warner joining us, Dan Patrick Show. If you were with the Jets right now, where would you be on the depth chart?
Well, I'd like to think that I'd be starting. Granted, I'm 3 years removed from playing.
I was trying to let you be humble here without saying that, but I'm glad you did say that. So you'd be starting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel great, and I just think, with where that team is, and obviously where I think Geno Smith is from a mental standpoint, that I feel like I could win the job based on what I know as a football player. I'm not really sure how I would play physically, although I feel great.
If I gave you a week to prepare.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the way I feel like if you gave me a week and I knew the offense, that I could go out and play.
I had a former coach tell me this last night about John Elway, that he could probably start right now for 5 teams.
Really?
5 teams in the NFL.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible right there. But again, I think the mental side of the game, you realize as you get older, the physical part, you have to be able to do the physical part, but it becomes less important if you know the mental side of things. Like we saw last night, if I can make a 5-yard throw because I know where they're blitzing from or where the soft spot is, I'm in much better shape than being able to throw a 50-yard rocket down the field, but not knowing what I'm seeing. And I think, with Geno Smith right now, and we saw that in the Giants game, he was seeing things that he's never seen before. And when that happens, it forces you into decisions that you wouldn't normally make. And I think that just shows he's not ready for the NFL yet. But unfortunately, we throw a lot of guys in that aren't ready, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to sink or swim.
Let me hit you with one more question before you get in your charity plug, and that is, Tim Tebow says, I want to play quarterback in the NFL. Now, you were in the Arena League, and you had dreams of playing in the NFL. But if you're giving advice, we saw this with a lot of, Eric Crouch wanted to play quarterback in the NFL, and they said, we want you to be a return guy or wide receiver. We've seen guys who have, Antoine Randall L., just to name a Freddie Solomon. These are guys who were quarterbacks in college who said, whatever it takes to get into the league. What advice would you give Tebow or anybody who says, I still want to be a quarterback, even though you look and say he doesn't look like a quarterback?
Well, I mean, the first thing I would say is that if that's the case, if that's what your dream is and you want to keep pursuing it, is to find somewhere else to play. I mean, the key for me was to get reps. If I would have stayed in Green Bay and been the backup to Brett Favre, who never missed a game, would I have been the same guy, at 28 when I got my chance with the Rams? No way. What I needed to play the game. I needed to learn things. I needed to get better physically. I needed to see things that I couldn't see standing on the sidelines. And I think that's, where guys like Tim Tebow are, is that we know he's a work in progress, but the only way to make that, progress speed up is to find yourself in situations and to play and to be able to react in game-type situations. And so, my first thing would be, I know you want to play in the NFL, but right now you need to find places to hone your craft, whether that's Canada, whether that's Arena League, whether that's anywhere else. I would encourage him to whatever the opportunity is, take advantage of it and go play as much football as you can.
NFL Network's Kurt Warner. You can see him NFL Game Day morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, every weekend on the NFL season. I know you have a raffle, and I'll let you explain what it is and the proceeds, what you're trying to accomplish with that.
Well, all the proceeds of the raffle will go to my foundation, so I can continue to try to make an impact in the communities that I reach. But it's a really cool opportunity. It's a raffle where you can get 5 tickets for just $10, and what you'll get from it, if you win the raffle, you and a guest will get the opportunity to come to the 49ers-Rams game, which is a Thursday night telecast for the NFL Network. You'll be able to hang out with me for the pregame show, kind of see what we do behind the scenes with Thursday night football. You'll hang out with me at the halftime show and postgame. During the game, we'll watch some of the game together from the sideline. We also have been given tickets from the Rams to sit up in a box and watch the game. So you really just get to shadow me all day, to see behind the scenes NFL Network, what we do, a chance to watch the game and talk through the game with a former NFL player. Round trip airfare, hotel accommodations, food, transportation, even throwing in box tickets to the Cubs-Cardinals game, which will be Friday after that. I won't be able to attend with them, but they'll get a chance to go to that game as well. So, again, all of this for 5 tickets for $10. Obviously, you can donate as much as you want. It all goes to my foundation to make a difference. But I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be unique, a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So, again, you can go to kurtwarner.org to find out all the details about it. Just $10 for 5 raffle tickets, and you can shadow me for the night.
The game is September 26th between the Niners and the Rams, and once again, kurtwarner.org. Good to visit with you. Give my best to the family, and we'll talk to you soon, Kurt. Thank you.
Will do. Thanks, Dan.
All right, Kurt Warner.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.